Hi everyone, welcome to Kitten Brush. In this video, I'm going to show you how to draw Sonic the Hedgehog. So grab something to draw with and some paper and let's get started. Alright, starting on the right side of your paper, not all the way to the right, but pretty close. Start by drawing a small vertical curve, and then on the bottom of that curve, just sweep upwards, and then we're going to round that out. This will be Sonic's eye, and then just kind of curve up and then meet where we started with that eye. I'm going to just draw a little curve here. This is going to be for the nose. And then at the tip of that line, or just below it actually, we're going to draw an oval. Now to finish up the eye, just draw a thin U shape there, and then Sonic's pupil, the black part of the eye, you're going to draw it a little bit more to the right so it gives him the appearance that he's looking forward. Now come up to that first line we made, and at the top just make a small curve there for his furrowed brow. And now you're going to come underneath the eye and make a small vertical curve. And then I'm going to come underneath the nose and you want these two lines to meet. So just gradually make a curve there to meet that line. And now his mouth, just come up just a little bit under the nose and then draw a swoop there. Now, I think what I'm going to go ahead and do is start on the top of the head. Wait, before I do that though, I'm going to draw the ears, just to help guide me where I'm going to finish the top of his head. So you're just going to draw, it's more of a line, maybe a slight curve in there, and then they're pointy ears, so just make them really pointy. And then a line on the inside just to show the outline of the inner ear. Now we can go ahead and draw the top of the head. I'm just putting a point here just to show where I want that curve to meet, those 2 points. So now I'm going to go ahead and draw that curve, starting at the furrowed brow, and just move that curve up to that point that I made above the ear. I'm going to keep extending that out and then just curving it downward. And then I'm going to come in with a straight line, extend a longer curve out. I'm just going to add a little bit more shape to that, a little bit more curve. And then bring in another slight curve there, and then another one coming out, and then another going in. And I think I'm going to draw it's like his 4 bunches of quills. So I'm just going to add a 4th one, a smaller one down there. It kind of goes down his back. Now I'm going to go ahead and draw Sonic's chest. I'm using the mouth as sort of a guide. I'm just going to bring down a line for the top of his chest. Now let's go ahead and start on Sonic's arm. So just under the face, right underneath where I placed that curve for the chest, I'm going to draw a line. And then just a small, very small curve right there, just to form a crease in the underarm, followed by a line, and then another line going up at an angle, and then a line above that. And then let's place a small vertical curve there to close it off. And now for the gloves, to make the cuff, I'm just going to place 2 small lines on each side of that arm, followed by some curves. We're making the cuff of his gloves, and I'm just going to bring that down and connect it. And then just giving some more definition to that cuff, just bring up those 2 inner lines. Now for the hand part of the glove, for the thumb, just bring up a J. It's like an upside down J. And inside that J, bring up a slight curve and you're going to bend that again into a J. And then we're just making the knuckles right now, so there should be 4 ridges total there for the knuckles. And then just finish that up with the bottom of his glove. Now I think what I'm going to do next is go ahead and we'll work on the body. So I'm just going to extend down that chest line, that curve that we made earlier. And I want to make sure I'm getting these proportions right. So I'm going to go back, I'm going to go to the back and just shape that out a little bit and then form the tail there, just the top of the tail. Now I'm going to come back to that chest line again and just extend it out to form the, I guess it would be the top of the thigh. It doesn't look like the top because it's on the bottom, but it's the top of the thigh. And then you're going to form the back side of the leg there, just a slight curve, followed by the back of the calf. And then let's make a knee there, and then the shin. And then close off those 2 lines with a vertical curve. And then the same thing like we did with the glove, I'm going to do the same thing with the sock. So you're just going to bring up some curves, just forming like a sloppy sock there. I don't know what you would call that. It's kind of sloppy, right? And then for the shoe, just extend a curve out from that sock. And I'm just going to round that out to form the heel. I'm going to bring in a slight curve there, and then a longer curve. And then come up to that sock again, and we're going to do the top of the shoe. And Sonic wears sneakers in the movie, so that is the look that we're going for. So I'm going to make a toe to that sneaker. They're running shoes, right? And then just finish up the sole, just outlining that there. And then he's got a band of white that goes across his shoe, so I'm just placing 2 parallel curves going down the shoe. Let's go ahead and finish up that tail, just connecting that back to his body. And then I'm going to use that curve that I just drew for the tail to start the underside of his other leg. And now I'm just making the top of that leg, trying to make sure I'm even. It would be really weird if his legs were different sizes, right? So I'm going to extend that knee out at an angle there. And I'm just making his calf. I'm just sort of inching down each side as I go. And then just more of a horizontal curve this time to finish off that leg. And again, I'm going to draw a sock. A slouchy. Okay, it's slouchy, it's not sloppy. I'm just forming some curves there, and then just adding a little bit more shape to that sock by bringing in those curves. And then just finishing off that sock with a nice long curve. Now I'm going to form the back of the shoe with another slight curve there. And then just a little ridge for the sole, and then I'm just going to curve that up. Again, forming a dent there on the sole. And then come up and create the top part of the shoe. And then I'm going to come around down from the bottom and meet the top. Now I'm just going to outline that sole to give, again, it's a running shoe, so that's what we're going for. And then again, that white band across his shoe. Now I'm going to come back up to his face, and I'm just going to add the detail. This is like a tan part of his stomach, his chest. So So I'm just drawing in those details before I move on. Oh, and I did forget his other ear. So you're just going to draw a straight line coming up from the top of his head and then just bring that down. It's pretty much a vertical line, that second line you draw. And I think that looks pretty good. Just going to clean up some lines here. I think that back got a little thick, so I'm just going to try to bring that in a little bit. I'll fix this when I do some outlining later, but for now I'm just going to clean it up a little. So I think that looks pretty good. I'm going to move on to coloring, except that I forgot his other hand. That would be great. So just coming up on his forehead between his ear and the furrow in his brow, I'm just going to draw a curve, and then it's going to come down and form like a hook, and that's his thumb. Now I'm going to draw a slight curve that forms another hook or J, and then just some ridges. This is his knuckles again, but his glove this time will be facing toward you, so you're going to see his fingers. So let's draw those fingers there. Again, he's running. He's supposed to look like he's about to throw a punch. And now I'm just going to add a highlight on that nose before I move on. Just go ahead and color it in. I just realized I was really off frame. So I'm going to fix my paper. I'm going to go ahead and color, and I'm going to add some blue streaks going behind Sonic. I'm going to be using alcohol markers. And I'll also add some glitter. So enjoy the video, and I'll see you at the end. you all so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed drawing Sonic along with me, and if you did, please hit that like and subscribe button to see more kit and brush videos in the future.